You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. Today's show is called A Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. I am your host and executive producer. Our guests will have 15 minutes to present a lesson to us, something that will make us better personally or professionally. So let's bring out our guest today. It's the wonderful Mr. Al Cini, who is also my co-host on the business show. How are you, Al?
Thanks, Dr. Jacalyn. I really appreciate the opportunity.
It's fabulous to have you here. So do you want to just give a little background about yourself, and then we'll spotlight you for your 15 minutes and you can start your presentation?
Sure, and I appreciate that. My background really is project management, large-scale project management. You know from conversations we've had that I used to work for General Electric there when they owned NBC, around the time they were merging with Universal Pictures. So my job at NBC was to manage large-scale projects involving hundreds of people. The goal of a project manager is to try to get hundreds of people to want to do something, to motivate them to get a project done. And the reason why they kept me around for 14 years is because I kind of had a knack at that. And since finishing that consultancy, I've been developing a program that I call the Brand and Culture Alignment Toolkit, the goal of which is to connect the people in an organization with the purpose they serve. Now, what I'm going to be presenting today, and thanks again for the opportunity, is a how to conduct an alignment meeting, how to pull a group of people together and reconnect them with their purpose. And it's a step-by-step process. It's actually pretty simple, and I'll be walking everybody through that today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Al. We're looking forward to your presentation. Are you ready to go?
I believe I am. How bad could this be? So let's give it a shot.
It's going to be great. All right, take it away. You're spotlighted. Wait until I put up your timer, please. I'm going to take your banner down right now. And here we go. You're off.
The countdown begins. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Lately, as an organization, as a company that specializes in connecting organizations, the people in an organization with the purpose they serve, we've been doing a lot of that kind of work lately for people who are complaining about COVID. And I think everybody's under the misconception that COVID is killing companies, killing organizations by disconnecting people from each other. In fact, we found that's not quite true. COVID kills companies not just by disconnecting people from each other, but by connecting the people in the company from their original purpose, from the purpose that they serve. So a lot of people are calling us in as kind of a COVID remedial program. But in reality, when we get in there, it really wasn't COVID that disconnected them from their purpose. It was day-to-day operations of the business over many years that led them to forget their purpose. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking about in my presentation over the next 15 minutes is how do you conduct a meeting to take the members of a group or a team or even a whole company and reconnect them with the purpose they serve. So let me get started here. I mean, the presentation, my presentation is called How to Align and Inspire Any Team. And it is a 3-step process that starts with step 4, actually step 0. And this is really a very important part of the process. Step 0 is about deciding who you're going to meet with. I recommend you invite the members of your executive leadership team or the members of a department in the company that you feel deserves some special recognition or may be able to benefit by a workout like this. Yeah, and the goal here is to try to invite everybody to participate. It's invitation only. You can decline participation if you choose, but there's no reason not to participate. There's a lot of value in it. And step 0 is writing the invitation. And writing the invitation to invite everybody to your alignment meeting starts with something we call the incorporating question. This is really the first thing we do. You write your invitation out. asking everybody to think of their entire team as though it were a single person doing its best work on its best day to keep all of its promises and achieve all of its goals. Now, what you want in the invitation is to encourage people to take a moment or two to really reflect on that, think about that. That goes in the invitation. You send that out to everybody with a date, pull a conference room together. If you've got a blackboard to write on, that's great. If you could meet on Zoom, you could use the whiteboard feature of Zoom. But you're going to be doing some writing as people offer some ideas, and it actually starts with the actual meeting, and that is to pull everybody together in step one. Step one is, okay, if you read the invitation, then you know you were asked to think of the whole organization that you're a part of as though we're a single person. Question is, what would that person be like? So with everybody in your Zoom meeting or everybody in the conference room, encourage everybody to start offering descriptions. Now, this example is based on work I did once a while ago with a quality control team. So the members of the quality control team all went around one-to-one, one by one, and they all offered descriptions of who they thought their ideal best self collectively as a member of their team is like. And we got back attributes like great presenter, logical and objective, meticulous and exacting, always developing their expertise, meaning taking classes, becoming certified in various things. They're looking for root cause rather than dealing with symptoms. They're very exacting and precise, and and this turned out to be kind of surprising, a mindful communicator. In other words, don't just click send before you've read your email several times to make sure that it accurately reflects what you're trying to communicate. So that really is what comes back from step one. Step one is about pulling people together around that whole idea of the incorporating question. What you get back from that are a whole lot of descriptions. And when you've written those descriptions down, you could start with step two. Now, step two in the process is to look at the descriptions that you've gotten from everybody. Hopefully, you'll have collected one or two descriptions from each member of your team. And in step two, you ask everybody in the room, now that you've written down all those descriptions, who are we actually when we're doing our best work on our best day? Now that we've all written down our individual impressions, let's take a look at everything we've written down and see if we can organize it and prioritize it so that we come up with a good consensus idea of who we are when we're doing our best work on our best day. What I got back in this example is a prioritized list. Number one, we look for root cause, not just the symptoms. Number two, we're objective, we're scientific. Number three, we're very precise in the work we do. Number four, we're meticulous in expressing the work we do and in applying our methods to the work we do. Number five, we are always working individually to develop our expertise. And number six was a reworking of one of the original attributes. Instead of saying we're a great presenter, let's say we're an effective presenter. We fleshed that out a little bit as a group and everybody agreed. It's very important to be engaging and succinct and direct, especially when you're presenting to a management team. But effective presentations are about communicating information clearly and unambiguously. So what we got back now is a picture of that best self who represents us when we're doing our best work on our best day. That leads us to step three. And step three for your team is, if you've ever heard the expression, what would Jesus do? In other words, what would that role model who represents our best work on our best day, what would that role model do? What would that person really be like? And how can I emulate that role model in my day-to-day? What we got back, and we asked everybody in this exercise to draw a picture of the expert that they had in their minds. What we got back was a watchmaker, somebody who knows where all the parts are, knows how all the parts come together, takes their time, works carefully, doesn't leave any parts behind on the table when they're finished, make sure that they have put things together properly, accurately, and that everything is in its place and that the whole system works correctly. That is the role target. Role target is our word for a kind of a refined role model, the expert. That's who we are when we're doing our best work on our best day. And the next step in the process really is pretty simple. Now that we know who we are when we're doing our best work on our best day, now that we understand who our role target is, ask everybody in the room on a yellow pad to write down the 2 or 3 things about themselves that they believe they can change beginning tomorrow morning to be more like that role model. If you were following that role model in your life, and as an expression of your respect for that role model, what about you would change to reflect what you learned from him or her? And one of the participants in our meeting, a really nice lady named Jean, said that she would start, as a start behavior, she'd set a firm date to complete her Six Sigma Green Belt certification. This is something she'd kind of been kicking down the road and procrastinating on. She committed in front of everybody, with everybody else listening, to set a firm date to complete that Six Sigma Green Belt certification so that she could be a more effective member of the team. She also committed to begin shadowing a colleague of hers on the team, a guy named Sean, to learn more about how everybody on their team analyzes field observations and turns them into policy recommendations. She felt that that would be a way for her to kind of adopt Sean as a mentor and learn more about how to be an effective member of the quality control team. So, I mean, that pretty much is it. You go around the room, you have everybody do that. And at the end of it all, what you've got is a collection of personal alignment plans, commitments that every individual on the team has made to be a more effective member of the team and a better servant of its purpose. That is, in a nutshell, how you conduct a team meeting that connects all the members of your team with the purpose that they serve, with the purpose they serve, and the culture and brand that represents their team when they're doing their best work on their best day. If you want to reach me, I'm al.cini@getbcat.com. Just as a little kind of a plug, we've developed a methodology for this approach. We deliver it for clients, and happy to talk to you about that or to answer any questions you might have about my presentation. Thank you. Well, thank you, Dr. Jacalyn.
Excellent. And we have from the wonderful Ralph Graves Jr. Great stuff, Mr. Cini.
Well, it's a real compliment coming from Ralph Graves. And I've just noticed on StreamYard that Bruce Bolger has joined us. And I know he's making a presentation today, too. I want to say that in talking about employee engagement, which is actually stakeholder engagement, when you want to engage people in the work that you do collectively, this kind of a meeting is a great meeting to have to boost engagement. In fact, in our validation studies for the methodology we developed, we found that based on one particular way of measuring it, you can double employee engagement. And the result of that is all kinds of positive needles move in the right direction, like profitability and accidents at work go down, and everything gets better when everybody's connected with their purpose. So
fantastic.
Yeah,
really great job. By the way, I love the visuals that you used. Let's bring Bruce into the stream. Hi, Bruce. Nice to see you.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn and Al. Nice to see you both.
Hey, Bruce. Nice to see you.
I don't have that nice background today, nor any deck. I'm just going to speak extemporaneously. That's okay, Dr. Jacalyn.
Yes, it's fine. It's perfect. And Al, are you going to hang around?
I certainly am. I mean, Bruce has got a great subject to talk about. I mean, Bruce and I know each other. We've worked together on a bunch of things, and he's at the forefront of a very important movement. So I want to hear all about that.
Excellent. So, Bruce, just to let you know, what's going to happen is that you're going to be spotlighted, and you're going to have a 15-minute timer, and you will get to have the floor. And if you need to share any information with our audience after the 15 minutes, that's fine too. We're not going to cut you off.
Oh, no, I might even be quicker because I don't have any graphics. Okay. I didn't realize, I thought this was an interview. So it's just me talking for 10 minutes.
15 minutes. Yes. You're doing a 15 minute lesson.
Minutes.
Yes.
Wow. Up to, can I do it less?
Yeah, sure. I just did.
Okay. Well, what you did was great, Al. You're so damn good at this. Well, then if you don't mind, so are you going to do a quick intro?
I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, and then you'll start your presentation. Sound good?
Okay. Now, by the way, I didn't know this. I have zero script. I have zero outline. So I thought it was an interview.
What you've got, honest to God, Bruce, is something that's more important than any script or any outline. You've got.
Well, we're going to find out.
I'm 100% confident. All you have to do is tell us what you know, and we've had plenty of conversations. There's so much value in that. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, great. So whenever you're ready, Dr. Jacalyn, let me go.
All right.
No, by the way, I'm not addressing you in any way. I'm just talking to the camera.
That's exactly right. You're giving a lesson.
And now, can I say this also? That I'm happy to do this program for Be Your Best and to join this community of coaches and people that are trying to help people and businesses improve their life, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, we're actually live streaming right now. So yes, you can say whatever you want because Business Talk Radio.
And we really appreciate it.
Listening. Yes.
Definitely.
So you are on Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. And these are lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. And so you have 15 minutes, which will start as soon as you tell me you're ready. We'll have a little timer and you can take it away.
Okay. But can I just stop my cam for one quick second?
Yes.
Or is that a problem?
No, go ahead.
All right. I didn't realize this was live.
He'll be back.
Yes, he will be back. So
He'll be back.
You know what? I think we'll take a quick commercial break.
Good. If you can run an ad, that'd be terrific.
Yeah. We'll hear from Ralph Graves and stay with us.
Great.
Hey everybody, my name is Ralph Graves Jr. I'm the host of the Ralph Graves Jr. Show, and I want to invite you to pick up my book, Unstoppable. I wrote a book called Unstoppable. It's 7 universal laws that will transform how you pursue and achieve success. The one thing that my 20 years of law enforcement has taught me is that no matter who you are, we are all governed by universal laws, like gravity. But in this book, we're going to talk about laws like the law of forgiveness, laws like the law of control, the law of intelligent practice, the law of expectancy. I was able to see how those, no matter what their background was, those who identified and treated these laws with respect, they were able to go on and lead successful lives. So pick up this book, and you can go ahead and pick it up at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, RalphGravesJr.com, where anywhere where fine books are sold. Thank you.
There are 7.7 billion people on Earth today. 40% of these people are under the age of 25. Young adults are the most fertile mission field in the world today. In Scripture, we see Jesus pouring his life into 12 young adults who he equipped to change the world and all of history. Like Jesus, we believe that the best approach to reach the world with the gospel is to invest in young, emerging leaders and equip them to build disciple-making movements. Concentric is the notion of surrounding and sharing a common center. Our center is the model and strategy of Jesus for both leadership development and ministry formation. As a global alliance, we provide equipping in biblical leadership based on Jesus' example in the New Testament. Jesus modeled for us how to make disciples that reproduce. Focusing on leadership development is key to creating movements that spread the gospel and Jesus' disciple-making strategy to young leaders around the globe. Our Ministry Alliance partners are actively equipping leaders and building movements of multiplication that reproduce the life of Christ. Join us today to equip young leaders with Jesus' strategy that will change cities and nations.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Academy Sedan and Limo is a full-service transportation company serving the Philadelphia metropolitan area with full knowledge of the New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. areas. We pride ourselves on being the most dependable, conscientious company in the industry. Our always on-time service and dependable pricing make us the company to call for any event or occasion. Our vehicles can accommodate any size party for any occasion. Our vehicles range from four-door sedans to SUVs to minivans to limo buses to full-size tour buses and can accommodate groups of 2 to 100. We offer airport shuttle service or over-the-road service without limitation regarding mileage or time, and no drive is too long or too far. So if you find yourself in need of transportation of any type with any vehicle, give us a call at 610-842-4564 and let us show you what a real transportation company can do for you.
Use code ACADEMY2020 to receive 20% off your first 3 rides, including parking and tolls.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
The party just keeps continuing. Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. Look who just dropped into the studio.
It's Ralph Graves, the author of Unstoppable, which is a terrific book.
Yes.
I had to drop in. I saw the party was going on, and I was watching on YouTube, and I'm not going to lie. I shot a little side text. Can I come play? And she said, yeah. So here I am.
I think that sounds great. That sounds great. So we're going to have Ralph go and do his presentation. Bruce, how does that sound?
Well, I have a time problem. I know we're on live TV. I didn't know that until now. And I literally have a hard stop at 2:30. So I can join you maybe another day and let Ralph fill in, and we'll just reschedule if you'd like.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Well, sorry, I wasn't totally attuned to what's going on, but now I am, and the next time it'll be right. So, Ralph, nice to meet you. Sorry I can't listen, but I'll talk to you folks soon.
Oh,
sounds
nice
good. Have a great day.
You
nice
too,
seeing
folks.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bruce.
My pleasure.
Okay, Ralph. So it's great to have you today. We're going to spotlight you. And if you just want to give some background about who you are and what you do, and then I will turn on the timer. So you just tell me when you're ready. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me, and always good to see you and Al. And thank you for allowing me to be part of the better community and what you're doing. I'm a retired police officer. I was a police officer for 20 years. I'm an author. I pastor a church. I do some coaching, some public speaking. I'm a husband of 30 years in a couple of weeks. I would have married 30 years. I'm a father of 3, grandfather of 3. So been on the planet a little while, but I just thank you for allowing me to be here with you guys. I am the author of a book called Unstoppable: 7 Universal Laws That Will Transform the Way You Pursue and Achieve Success. So, just the other day, we rolled out, I launched something on my website, ralphgravesjr.com/community. It's called the Unstoppable Community. And for $10 a month, you'll get some videos. You get videos every week. You get some coaching, some journalism, or some things you can journal with. You get plenty of content exclusive only to the Unstoppable Community. So we just launched that. So we're pretty excited about it. Also, I'm the founder and creator of a program called the Gulfstream Way, which is a 90-day coaching program. It's a roadmap, really, that will really change the way you grow and really help you grow in business and abroad. So, but thank you for having me on the program. And I guess you can start the timer whenever you want to. I just want to talk to you for a little while, guys, about self-awareness. And I think it's key. I think, self-awareness is simply being aware of where you are. I coached football for years. I coached sports for years. And one of the things that we really try to encourage our players to do, be aware of where you are on the court. Where are you on the field? Where are you on the baseball field? Where are you? Self-awareness. You can't be the player. You can't do your job if you're not self-aware. So when we talk about self-awareness, and even in what we do, self-awareness defined, if I give you a quick definition of self-awareness, I'll be looking at my notes, guys. Hope you don't mind. It's a conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. You have to be aware of your own character, your feelings, your motives, and your desires. So it really is really important for us to be self-aware. There are 3 different types of self-awareness. Let me explain to you why self-awareness is important. Because when we have a better understanding of ourselves, we're able to experience ourselves in a unique and separate individuals. We're not just going along to get along. We're not just doing things because everyone else is doing it. when we exercise self-awareness, we get a chance to ask ourselves, does this line up with my belief system? Does this line up with what I agree with, line up with how I'm built? We can spend a lot of time trying to fit in with other people, a lot of time trying to do what they want us to do, and never really be self-aware. And we lose ourselves in doing what they want us to do. And so, it's important that we become self-aware. It was important that we definitely become self-aware. There are different kinds of self-awareness, or three types of self-awareness. I think one of the things I definitely talked about the other day was knowing your triggers and your reaction to those triggers. What triggers you? What environments allow for your growth or call you to grow? What things rub you the wrong way? Realize what triggers you. Certain things I know I can't watch before I go to bed, because I don't want to wake up in the morning thinking about what I just watched that evening. Triggers, being self-aware of what your triggers are. Another way to be self-aware, especially in the workplace, how are you landing with other people? How are you coming across with other people? How are other people receiving you? I think we need to be aware of that. There's another third part of self-awareness, without giving it all the way, because I kind of want y'all to go to the Ralph Graves Jr. or the Unstoppable Community, is being aware of your behavior patterns that are getting you. Is your behavior getting you the results you desire? We have to be aware of that. Is your current behavior, is your current routine getting you the results you desire? A lot of times we desire so many results, but we fail to put in practice and put in place the routines we need to get those desired results. So am I aware of that? So self-awareness plays a big part in our growth and our maturation as people. Plays a huge part in what we do at the workplace. It plays a huge part in how we parent, how what kind of friend are you? What kind of brother? What kind of sister? What kind of business person are you? I know this is Business Talk Radio. Be self-aware. Who is your audience? Who are you attracting? Be aware of that. What are you putting out there? Are some of your conversation, does it put people off? Different ways to cultivate self-awareness. Get the rest that you need. Read what you need to read. Meditate. I know there's a lot of talk about meditation today. I told you I pastor a church. I pray. I read the Bible. I evaluate how things make me feel. Meditation is a great way to cultivate self. Have honest conversations with your friends and your family. Be curious about who you are. Let your walls down. Literally look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. I read the other day, and I hope I'm making sense. I can never tell when I'm just talking to the camera if I'm making sense. I read the other day, we are not who or what we think we are. We're not. And I don't want to say that to mess you up, because here's the thing. Even though we're not as good as we are, we're really not as bad as we think we are. All right. We're not as good as we think we are. We're not as bad as we think we are. We're somewhere right in the middle. So if I'm going to cultivate that, I have to take an honest look at myself in the mirror. I said earlier, keep a journal of what triggers you. Keep not only what triggers you in the negative, but what triggers the feelings. What do you like to do? Keep a journal of that. Journaling is a great way to start that. Substitute screen time. We spend a lot of time on screen, especially if you're a creator of content. And if you're listening to Business Talk Radio, you're watching a lot of things. Substitute that screen time with in-time people time, in person people time. Be in person with some people. Ask others how they see you. Now, your friends will be kind. Ask some folks that you're just acquaintances. How do they see you? They'll give you an honest assessment. If you're angry at somebody, it's another way to cultivate self-awareness. And again, I hope I'm making sense. Take the third person perspective. If I'm angry at someone, let me take it out of my shoes. Let me get out of my shoes and let me stand in theirs for a minute. Let me try to see where they're coming from. If you catch yourself raising your voice, might be justified in being upset, but kind of remove yourself from it and try to stand on their side. Another way to cultivate self-awareness, keep checking in with yourself. Have a list of feelings. Don't be afraid to check in with yourself. And finally, guys, keep learning, because this journey of self-awareness, it never, ever ends. It never ends. We are growing each and every day. If you stop growing, you die. What's not growing is dead. So we have to keep growing. And self-awareness, I think, is a starting point. And I know I had 15 minutes, but, you know, I will stop right there. I don't want to start preaching to the audience.
Great job, Ralph. Very nice.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Thank you. I hope that helps somebody.
Yes, I think it definitely will. And by the way, I'm thrilled to hear about the Gulfstream Way. I updated your banner. So do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the Gulfstream Way is a 90-day transformational program. We spend 90 days with you. You're in a cohort with about 10 to 15 other people, and we go deep. We go deep in everything from personal growth to really maturing you as a leader through via communication. I mean, we go deep into it, and what I think really makes it strong is we take people from different industries. Your cohort is not made up of, so if you're a speaker, you won't be in there with 14 other speakers. You're being there with maybe an app designer. You're being there maybe with someone who owns a trucking business, so that you have a network that is, you know, a cross-pollination network, so that you know someone who does other things other than what you do, and you grow together on different platforms. And so that's we just launched that. Matter of fact, we just launched that March the 1st. And then right behind that, for those who kind of want to get their feet wet, I started the Unstoppable Community. And you can join that. That's a $10 a month subscription fee, membership fee. You can join that and you'll get videos, you'll get some content. You can even schedule yourself for a 30-minute coaching call if you want to. But all those things are available. RalphGravesJr.com/apply, RalphGravesJr.com/community, and we can be unstoppable together.
And Ralph, tell us about your show on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 10 a.m., we're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live, we're on Instagram Live, and it's just called the Unstoppable Morning Program, Wednesday from 10 to 11. We have a good time. We have some, I think we have some things there, you know, and we have some good conversation. I have the youth with me. I have, I don't even know what they're called now. They're all in their 20s. What are they called? Generation, I don't know what they're called.
Gen Z, I think.
Z. I got Gen Zers, surrounded by Gen Zers. So they keep me on point. They keep me together, and I keep them together. But you're going to stay young. You got to surround yourself with the young. That's why I hang around Dr. Jacalyn and Brother Al. So I hang around.
Bless you, Father. Bless you.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank
you. You know,
Ralph,
while you were talking about self-awareness, I noted you said in your intro that you're a retired police officer.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm thinking not just about police officers, but let's say people in other professions, nurses, doctors, accountants. Yeah. These are people, I think, that sometimes get so lost in the role that they play that they lose sight of the situation they're in. And I think what you offered by way of advice on self-awareness could make nurses, doctors, police officers much more effective in their jobs when they're serving the community.
Yeah. You can never get lost in, and one of my, and I've worked with men and women who've done that, and you're absolutely right in those professions, easy to do. I was mentored by a guy who said, listen, this is what you do. This is not who you are. You have to separate the two. So I had some really, even at a young age, I was 21. I was way too young for them to give me a gun and run around the city and play Batman. I was really too young for that. But I was mentored by some guys saying, listen, never, ever forget that this is what we do, and you serve the community to the best of your ability. But when you go home, you go home.
You leave
go
it
home.
behind.
Yeah. So you had to be aware of that.
What are your thoughts, two gentlemen here? What are your thoughts about the fact that men specifically have a very hard time separating who they are from what it is they do, because they see themselves as the police officer 24/7?
Yeah.
Now, do you think that's accurate or not really?
You can go first, or you want me to take it first?
No, I think you should take it. Go ahead, Ralph.
Okay. I think here's what our culture does. The first time we meet somebody, the first thing we ask them is, what do you do? And we're so conditioned of telling people what we do for a living first that we say that over and over and over and over again. And we have to always act in that capacity. I'm going to tell you something. I pastor a church, so I'm going to tell you that I used to lie a lot. When I was a police officer, when people asked me what I did for a living, I told them that I washed airplanes at the airport.
Wow, that's a good one.
You know why I told them that? Because now I'll get this really treat me. I know how you treat me if I give you the sexy job. I'm a man of authority. I know how you're going to treat me then. But let me tell you that I sweep floors at the high school and see if you accept me for being who I am and not just based upon what I do. And so we've just been so conditioned, I think, of answering that question. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? That we actually think that we are what we do, and we're not.
I think that's a great point. And Dr. Jacalyn, I'll turn the conversation around a little bit. The best manager I ever worked for was a woman. The worst manager I ever worked for was a woman. I worked for good and bad managers of both sexes. I've been around for a long time. When a woman or anybody is effective at their job as a leader or as a manager, it's because they're authentic to themselves, mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be times when they have to lay down the law, but laying down the law is not what they wake up in the morning to do. It's much more important to catch people doing things right than it is to go around looking for people doing things wrong. And
I agree.
And that I think is an area where self-awareness and mindfulness really comes in. Because if you're focused so much on being the tough person, and I think a lot of women feel like they have to play that role when they don't really. If you're focused on playing the role of being the tough person, tough-minded, I think you come across as somebody that nobody wants to work for, that nobody wants to work with, and you're looking to invite people into something, not discriminate against people. And I think so. I don't care what gender you are. I think you're more effective when you follow Ralph's advice.
I would agree with that. I've been told in the past that I'm always in business mood. And since that was brought to my attention, I've tried to work on that a lot, because I didn't realize that I always was like, it's the bottom line. When are we getting it done? When it's like chop, chop, chop. But, I'm trying to really work on that.
Yeah.
It's everybody's working on that kind of thing all the time. That's another thing. It's a journey's never over. So, I think Ralph even made that point. It's not like all of a sudden you reach a point where you can stop. You can never stop this. Once you start thinking, you really have to keep it up. It's not the kind of thing you can settle back and watch.
Yeah. Got to keep growing. And it's okay to be in business mode. It's okay to be in business mode, but, have fun. I mean, know when to relax, know when to take it down. And remember, and this is, I'm just sitting here talking. I'm having a fireside chat with two friends,
Exactly. It's cool.
People prefer authenticity over anything else. I think, hey, I'm gonna be authentic. Listen, I don't care what kind of different backgrounds we come from. If there's a job that we have, if there's a journey that we're on, if we're on this road map, if we're on this road together, let's put everything aside and let's get done what we need to get done in an effective manner where we're respecting one another, and we don't have to have a bad time getting it done.
No, I like to have fun. It's good to laugh.
I love Ralph's expression, what isn't growing is dead. I'm going to steal that. Yeah,
no, it wasn't mine anyway. But Al, I'm going to tell you a secret. Once you say it 3 times, it becomes yours. Now you have to give me credit 3 times. You have to say, I heard Ralph Gray say it. But after the 3rd time, it's yours. After the 3rd time, you own it.
Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it.
What isn't growing is dead.
What isn't growing is dead.
Yeah.
I like it. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun. I'm so glad that you dropped by. It's cool. I kind of feel like when you were texting me, I kind of felt like I was, what's that guy who had the show in New York, David Letterman, and people were like, hey, just drop by the studio.
Look who's in the green room.
Yeah, it's like, you could just drop by.
I don't know, and forgive me, I shouldn't have took that liberty, but I saw you guys on, and I was done my assignments for the day. I'm here. Yes. This is my church office. I was done my assignments, and I was like, well, let me see if I can go in there.
Of course, you're always welcome. You're always welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
No, that's true. So it's been fun. I know you have a hard stop, Al. So what I think we'll do is, if it's all right, I'm going to end the show by playing your new commercial.
Great.
All right.
I'm
going to play one for each of you. I'm going to play Al's and I'm going to play Ralph's. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Have you ever tried to build people into a team? Maybe you've tried bowling, or ziplining, or paintball, or pizza making. These events can be fun, and they can make everybody happy for a while. But in the long run, do they really turn people into a team? Now, imagine the members of your team scattered all over the world, working from trains and airplanes, from remote offices, client locations, or working from home. How do you build a winning team when your playing field might be the entire world? With BCAT, we've created the answer. Working completely online, no matter where your people are, we turn them into an engaged and motivated team in 3 simple steps. First, we use the BCAT survey, which they can take online, anywhere, anytime, to reveal the North Star that represents their shared pride in the work they do. Next, we work with your team's leaders and stakeholders to convert that North Star into a role target, an ideal virtual person who represents your team's best self, living its best day at work. With our internet tools, we hang your North Star high in the sky, where everyone on your team can see it, no matter where in the world they might be. Then we guide and help everyone on your team in creating personal plans to align themselves with your team's North Star. We help each of them develop the positive habits that, day by day, every day, steer them closer to your North Star, aligning themselves with your team's signature dreams and ideals. And over the long haul, we offer programs and coaching techniques that help them stick to their plans. Remote team building isn't hard. It doesn't take long. And it's just as much fun as pizzas and paintball. You build winning teams around a purpose, not a place. BCAT is the answer.
I don't think men are superficial idiots, that their brains are wired to be visual. I'm told I give great advice.
Nike Just Do It for exercise, I think really applies to sex too.
I've coached hundreds of men and women.
Oh, I disagree with her where she's like, put it all out there on the first date. You know, an open book is not sexy.
Exactly. You know. Do you have relationship questions? Chances are one of my clients, or myself, or my friends have gone through the same thing, and I already made a video about it. So I invite you to check out my YouTube channel, Donna Barnes. I've made hundreds of advice videos based on real-life experiences so that you can make better choices.
In my upcoming Breakup Recovery Action Plan, there's going to be checklists and quizzes,
Best information that I've ever experienced or acquired. If you're stuck and can't move forward or let go, my action plan is built to help you. Subscribe to my channel. I'll help you have better relationships.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back. This is so much fun. I love watching those ads. You are on Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You, and our presenters today are two of my favorite people, Al Cini and Ralph Graves Jr. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Anything you want to share with our audience before we go? We'll start with you, Al.
I just want to say that, Ralph, that was a terrific video. I really like the energy and I love the message. I really do. I think an awful lot of people tend to hide their spirituality or their beliefs, and there are strengths. They're not a weakness. And I think it's great that you're out there with that, and I have a lot of respect for you for that.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Amen to that. Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate what both of you do. I appreciate this platform. I'm just glad to be associated with you all. If you're listening, keep listening. Share this with somebody. Let people know that there is a voice on Business Talk Radio that is rocking the world, and her name is Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. And follow her on every platform, and just really, she will really help you grow. So thank you for providing this platform for guys like me.
I hope you're happy, Ralph. She's going to be impossible to live with now.
And guess what? I'm reemerging into the world after I get my next shot at the end of this month. Look out, world. I'm coming back out in April. The second week of April.
All right. All right.
I'm so excited. But Ralph, I do love that ad. As soon as I saw it, I think I reached out to you right away. I'm like, I have to have that run on the show.
Yeah. Daughters did that. How about that?
It's really good.
Oh, nice.
It's excellent. So, well, it's been a pleasure having you here today. I hope that folks will watch this afternoon at 4:00. We have another show. It's all about dating, and we have a special guest co-host, Donna Barnes, and I just ran her ad, so she's filling in for Lisa Maniocchi today, and our guest is Linda Curtin. So the dating show is always fun. Al, you've been on there.
Great program. It really
Al,
is.
you should want some time at co-host. It's really it's fun. You don't have to be single. It's just about people making relationships, connections. It's fun.
Okay? If you want my relationship advice, I'm tough.
Well, you're not going to be giving it to me, okay? You're going to be giving it to the world.
All righty.
Great. All right, guys. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for watching A Better You. We'll see you this afternoon at 4 p.m. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.